Chad, we back with another one. Podcast podcast. We back with another one. Check this shit out, y'all. Check this shit out. I told y'all it's crazy. From the last video, I told y'all the world is crazy.
Out on bond after being accused of allegedly having sex with a minor. Misty Roberts became the first woman to hold office of mayor in DeRidder, Louisiana. Louisiana State Police arrested her last Thursday on charges of third-degree rape and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Now, she was released after posting a $75,000 bond. This arrest comes less than a week after she announced to everyone that she'd be taking a 2-week leave of absence, but then she abruptly resigned with a letter. So we're asking, what does her resignation say to you? Let's bring in our guests, criminal defense attorney and law professor Don Milarczyk, retired FBI special agent Jennifer Coffendaffer is joining us, and retired defense attorney Kirk Nurmi with us as well. Thank you all for being here and for joining us. This one is a very interesting case. We're still learning more about it. We don't have information on the age or gender of the accuser, but we know there was a friend of the accuser who also corroborated their story. Jennifer, let me start with you. Your initial reaction to the allegations in this case.
Well, of course, it's very disturbing whenever you have someone in a position of authority, such as a mayor, be accused of these types of allegations. Anyone who is in such a position is usually very influential on a lot of individuals, and to use that power and authority possibly to influence sexual favors with someone who is a minor is truly disturbing.
Her resignation letter basically says that she is proud of all the work she's done there in this county, Kirk. She likes everything that has been built, but she felt that she needed to step away. This resignation, no doubt to the public, can have some kind of implication, but what could it have on this criminal case against her?
Well, I don't know this is going to have any direct implication of the criminal case, but it gets her out of the spotlight, if you were. As mayor, she's accessible to the public. Questions are going to be posed, things of that nature, right? And she's probably going to have a defense attorney, and if she's smart enough to follow the defense attorney's advice, they're going to tell her not to talk, not to be in a position to comment on any of the evidence.
Chet, this white woman look good too. This woman look good. What be going through their head? Like, what really be going through people's heads when they do this shit? And then with some high school kids, like, they ain't gonna talk. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it in a little bit. We're just gonna listen to the rest of this story.
It's coming forward, and as it begins to leak out because of her status as mayor, if she's in a position where she's not forced to answer these questions or confronted with these questions, that's better for her criminal case. So I think what we're really seeing here by this resignation is that she is taking the advice of her counsel. She's taking it seriously, and it's probably not the evidence coming forward is not going to look good for her as the case unfolds.
Yeah, Don, it sounds like she had a heads up potentially about these charges coming down, or perhaps about this outcry. Your initial thoughts on this case?
Yeah, Julia, that's not too surprising. I mean, we don't know exactly what led to the arrest, but oftentimes there's a search warrant. For instance, they could have seized her cell phone, her computers, they could have searched her house. Once that happens, a smart individual gets in touch with a criminal defense attorney. That defense attorney reaches out to law enforcement, tries to make contact with a prosecutor and say, hey, what's going on? So it wouldn't surprise me if she had some kind of inkling that this was coming. Obviously, the resignation before the charges was pretty smart. I agree with Kurt. A good defense attorney is going to say just that. Look, real short, sweet, simple resignation letter. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. And that's it. Now you shut up. You let your attorney gather the evidence and you see how this unfolds.
We know that the local sheriff's office in that area asked the state police to look into these allegations against Roberts. And they interviewed 2 juveniles, one of whom is the alleged victims. At the time of the arrest, Roberts' attorney issued this statement saying, my client learned late last night of a warrant despite not being contacted to be interviewed prior to investigators obtaining the warrant. My client maintains her innocence. Now, Roberts, these allegations or accusations against her charges for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. She has not ever been the word in the trial. These charges have not actually come to a conviction. So this could be a rush to judgment. Our question is about her not being interviewed. And Jennifer, let me go back to you about that. Do you think that's strange that in a case like this one, there wouldn't be an interview before this arrest?
No, not at all. And this is why they were still collecting evidence. Whenever you go into an interview of this nature, you want to have all available evidence in your tool belt.
Okay.
You want to understand everything. So it's something that they can obviously try to interview her later when her counsel is there. It's a possibility, but I like the idea of not interviewing until you have a lot of the answers already in your hip pocket.
Kirk, as a defense attorney, your thoughts on them going this route of not having the full sit-down interview with her when you have an outcry witness? Do you think it's because there's this corroborating friend of the alleged victim?
Well, it is a little surprising because you would think, from my perspective, you'd think they'd want to seek a confession out of her using some of the evidence that they have that motivated the arrest warrant. But Julia, I don't think it's the corroborating witness so much as it might be corroborating evidence, like things we see, this digital footprint that we talk about in so many cases. What were her text messages, other messages, social media interaction with the victim in this case? All those things can add up and almost negate the need for an interview, because if they're conclusive enough, these messages, this interaction, that could be enough to get the arrest and frankly, to get the conviction without a confession.
Don, do you think her position as mayor, she's a 42-year-old woman, we understand she was married back in 2008, do you think her position as mayor could be the...
Anyway, the woman was having sex with her son's friends at a pool party, feeding them liquor and stuff like that. Hold on, chat. I had to run to the car, chat. Hold up. Chad. I'm back, Chad. I'm sorry.
Reason that
Right.
the sheriff's office didn't want to wait, didn't want to go through this interview process with her just for accountability when it comes to a public servant.
You know, Julia, that's a great question. I got to say I was a little bit bothered by the attorney's statement.
Sorry, Chad. I had to run outside and handle some business. You know how that go. But yeah, this whole story is crazy to me, man. Like, think about all sides. The boy is so embarrassed. Your mama is out here. Your mama's the mayor of the town, first of all. Look, your mama's the mayor of the town. She out here wanting to party with the teenagers and stuff. Now your mama's fucking the kids, fucking your friends. You know how that, bro, I'm gonna say you know how that feel. Can you imagine being, somebody fucked your mama
Chad,
when you in school?
I ain't gonna lie, Chad.
Oh Lord, you got
I'm the
confession,
nigga
Chad.
fucking your mama. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, back when we was in school though.
No, still to this day, I'm terrible with it. I can't help it.
We know that, but I'm
The
talking
old
about
niggas be
back
the
when in
ones.
school when we was young.
Yeah.
Baby, just imagine the boy going to school, they clowning this nigga.
Yeah, I can see that though.
You
Yeah,
know
I
what
can
I'm
see it, 'cause
saying?
I definitely had a lot of issues that I had. Was definitely dealing with niggas dukes.
And then
Sure.
now the son testified against the mama. The ex-husband testified against the mama. This is embarrassing shit. This is low. This hoe done went lower than low. Like, and the white bitch look good. She look good. Like, Chad, go on with it.
Because honestly, at any time, an attorney can pick up the phone, call law enforcement and say, hey, my client wants to sit down with you and talk to you. So he always had that opportunity. The truth is, you would never do that. No defense attorney worth their weight in salt would ever sit down and have an interview at this stage of the proceedings. You don't know what the evidence is. You don't know what your client's specifically being accused of. So you wouldn't want an interview. So it's a little bit disingenuous to blame the police for not affording that opportunity. Once she's represented by counsel, the law enforcement must contact the attorney. They can't just show up at her house and say, hey, we want to interview you. So I don't know all the facts and circumstances behind that statement, but it struck me as a little bit odd because you always have the right to call law enforcement and say, hey, my client wants to be heard. She wants to sit down. Let's have a meeting. And believe me, law enforcement would make that happen immediately.
That is a great point, that they know she's represented by counsel, especially now, probably knew she was going to be represented by counsel. And when she got that resignation letter written up, she may have already had that counsel. So I would have not much.
We gotta look at this, y'all. We gotta goddamn go depth.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working
So, Chad, she had a trial today and stuff like that. She had a trial.
app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is
Thank you so much, Wade. After former DeRidder Mayor
Or like last week or sometime, and this happened like two years ago. So this is just crazy.
Misty Roberts was found guilty of having sex with a teen while mayor, we're now hearing from attorneys on both sides. One of Roberts' attorneys, Todd Clemens, and Beauregard Parish District Attorney Jimmy Lestage offered comment to 7 News.
Yeah, Morgan, after request from 7 News, both sides are commenting on the verdict. Defense attorney Adam Johnson and Todd Clemens sent a joint statement. They say, quote, we are disappointed by the verdict, but of course respect the jury's decision. Our focus is now on doing everything we can to keep Misty free after sentencing so she can continue raising her son and daughter as she was for the last 2 years while awaiting trial. As attention around this case continues, we simply remind everyone that behind every headline is a real person and a real family living through it. Regardless of how anyone views the outcome, grace and humanity are always appropriate. And Beauregard District Attorney Jimmy Lestage is commenting today saying, quote, I am happy to be able to provide justice for the victim and families involved in the case. I thank the jury for their patience and attention listening to and viewing evidence for over a week. ADA Charles Robinson worked tirelessly in this case and did a fantastic job for the office and for the community. We've also received your questions asking why Roberts was not placed in custody after the jury's decision. According to Judge Savoy, Roberts had what is called a...
Look at this white woman. It really got to be something going through these people's brain to be doing this stuff, y'all. Like, really think about it. You know, most of the time we see this stuff, it be coming from like when this stuff first was going down back in the day. It was coming from the fat people, the white community, whatever, and the goddamn crazy people. But it got to be something wrong with this woman. It got to be. This is a gorgeous white woman, the mayor of the city, first mayor. Your credentials is up. You look good. You got a family. What is going on? Oh my gosh. She one of them dingy white bitches. She gotta be. She one of them dingy white bitches want to party. You know how we be watching the movies, all the goddamn funny ass white people movies, Adam Sandler movies, and old girl, what's her name? Sandy, whoever her name is, her name be Sandy in all the movies. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I love them white people movies. Them shits be funny as hell. But this is like a white person movie. This is crazy. This is a movie. Some super bad or American Pie type shit. This boy can never go back to school. He can't do nothing. This is crazy. We're gonna talk about more of this later on tonight. We're gonna talk about more of this trial and all that stuff. We're gonna break this down. Yeah. This is crazy. Anyway, this is crazy, chat. This is crazy. Pausecast podcast, man. This is crazy. Anyway, Pausecast podcast over and out, man. Over and out.